Following Kobe Bryant's heartbreaking death, Vanessa Bryant has been at the center of global condolences. However, certain NBA players have shown what some might consider an unusually close level of support, one that doesn't always look purely platonic. What stands out most is witnessing Vanessa's incredible resilience, courage, and strength as she faces the world head-on. Yet, over time, there have been instances where specific athletes seem to linger near Vanessa in ways that raise the question: is this simply out of admiration, or is there an ulterior motive? From Shaquille O'Neal to Dwight Howard, and even LeBron James, speculation has surrounded these basketball stars, and whether their intentions have been more personal than professional since Kobe's death. First up, Shaquille O'Neal, better known as Big Shaq. Rumors linking him to Vanessa Bryant have swirled for some time. To fully grasp the whispers about Shaq, you need to understand the complex history of his relationships. His off-court charisma is as towering as his stature, and it hasn't always stayed within the bounds of his commitments. Shaq has openly acknowledged past infidelities, even during his marriage to Shawnee O'Neal, reinforcing the narrative of a complicated personal life. In his autobiography, he openly acknowledged his wandering eye, making it no mystery to anyone. This aspect of his life contributed to his divorce, and his eventful love life since has remained unsurprisingly lively. However, Shaq isn't all about glitz and drama. At his core, he's always had a deep admiration for strong, unwavering women who serve as the backbone of their families through life's trials. And no one embodies that resilience quite like Vanessa Bryant. More than just Kobe's wife, she stood by him through controversies, injuries, and retirement, all while raising their children and keeping their family united. So, when Kobe's tragic passing shocked the world, Shaq was among the first to publicly mourn, not only for his former teammate, but also for Vanessa and her daughters. Despite the tumultuous relationship Shaq and Kobe shared during their time with the Lakers, the two reconciled before Kobe's passing, and Shaq made it known that his respect for Vanessa was profound. Following Kobe's death, Shaq became an even more prominent figure in Vanessa's life. He publicly spoke of her immense strength, applauded her unwavering dedication to her children, and expressed a desire to offer his support to the Bryant family in any way he could. As people observed him grieving Kobe, it became clear he was also making an effort to ensure Vanessa wasn't left to cope alone. And, well, we all know how the online world operates. The instant a man gives any special attention to a woman, especially someone as stunning and well-known as Vanessa, the gossip machine begins. Shaq's heartfelt tributes and his growing bond with Vanessa were quickly interpreted by some as more than just acts of kindness. Was there any validity to these whispers? Perhaps. His admiration for Vanessa might stem from genuine respect, or it could be something more romantic. Considering his track record and Vanessa's undeniable presence as a woman who naturally garners admiration, it's not surprising that people began piecing together a narrative that something felt unusual. But who's to say? Anyway, let's move on. In 2004, Karl Malone made a surprising and perplexing move involving Vanessa Bryant. During a Lakers game that year, Vanessa was seated courtside, passionately supporting her husband, Kobe. She happened to notice Malone sporting a cowboy hat and jokingly asked what he was hunting. His reply? "I'm hunting little Mexican girls," an apparent reference to her Latina background. Some might speculate that Malone may not have known who she was, but let's be realistic. How could he not? He shared a locker room with Kobe, played on the same team, and was part of the Lakers' social circle. It's clear he knew exactly who she was. Understandably taken aback, Vanessa even confronted him, asking directly, "Why are you flirting with me?" Rather than stepping back, Malone escalated the situation by questioning whether she had feelings for him. When Kobe caught wind of it, he didn't hesitate to confront Malone directly. Yet, instead of expressing remorse, Malone nonchalantly dismissed the issue, insisting he hadn't meant to be disrespectful. Though, let's be real, that hardly made things better. The nerve, honestly. It's the sheer nerve for me. Predictably, this incident destroyed any semblance of a bond they might have had, eliminating any hope for a future friendship. And seriously, what was Karl even thinking? Why jeopardize the team's dynamic over something so irresponsible? Then again, given his track record of chaotic relationships and questionable decisions, should we really be that shocked? At the age of 20, while a sophomore at Louisiana Tech, Karl fathered a child with 13-year-old Gloria Bell. That child, Demetrius Bell, later became a professional NFL player. Disturbingly, Karl initially refused to acknowledge paternity and neglected to provide financial support, despite amassing more than $100 million during his time in the NBA. In 1986, after Bell's grandparents brought a paternity lawsuit against him, a judge ruled Karl was indeed Demetrius's father and ordered him to pay child support. Karl, however, challenged the financial obligations, ultimately reaching a private settlement outside of court. Fast forward to today, look at what happened with Kobe. Who's to say he won't repeat such behavior? Much like Carl's unapologetic actions, there's also Tony Parker. Parker's track record in relationships has been far from exemplary. Years ago, he was famously married to actress Eva Longoria. They were essentially one of Hollywood's elite couples. However, everything unraveled quickly when Longoria discovered countless text messages exchanged between Parker and Erin Barry, the wife of Brent Barry. Brent wasn't just any teammate. He was one of Parker's closest allies on the San Antonio Spurs. So, this wasn't just a personal betrayal. It struck deeply within the dynamics of the locker room as well. The aftermath? Chaotic doesn't even begin to describe it. Longoria filed for divorce. The Barrys separated, and Parker's reputation took a significant blow. The scandal portrayed him as someone not just willing to betray a partner, but also capable of overstepping boundaries with a friend's wife. That kind of stigma tends to stick, especially when you're under the intense glare of the NBA spotlight. Jump ahead to the devastating loss of Kobe Bryant. And Parker was one of many retired players who publicly shared their sorrow and offered condolences to Vanessa and her family. However, given his past reputation, not everyone viewed his sentiments without skepticism. If Parker was daring enough to pursue his teammate's wife while they both played together, what would stop him from trying to approach Kobe's widow now that he was no longer around? Adding fuel to the speculation was Parker's well-known attraction to strong and stunning women. Just consider his relationship with Longoria. After Kobe's passing, Vanessa became a symbol of resilience and poise, remaining steadfast for her children under the gaze of a grieving world. Meanwhile, Parker, now retired and living a more low-profile life, wasn't a frequent presence in the media. So, when murmurs surfaced about him possibly getting close to Vanessa, many were quick to entertain the idea. That said, there's no solid evidence to substantiate these claims about Parker and Vanessa. The rumors appear to stem more from his prior actions than any verified accounts or credible sightings. When a man has a track record of betrayal involving someone close to him, and a high-profile widow like Vanessa finds herself navigating life without her husband, it's almost impossible for the internet to look away. And on the topic of complicated personal lives, it's no surprise that the next name on this list comes up, Dwight Howard. It's hard to discuss Dwight without diving into what can only be described as his turbulent personal affairs. Over the years, he's faced numerous accusations of infidelity and has openly admitted to engaging in multiple extramarital relationships. The outcome? He's become a father to children from several different women, amplifying the narrative that Dwight struggles with staying faithful. As a result, people began focusing less on his dominance as a big man in the game and more on his inability to keep his personal life in order. To top it off, there's the involvement of Kobe Bryant. Dwight and Kobe's infamous feud during Howard's first run with the Lakers is something fans haven't forgotten. On the surface, it appeared to be a typical case of clashing personalities. Kobe was the intense, no-nonsense leader who demanded focus, while Dwight had a more lighthearted and playful demeanor that didn't align with Kobe's expectations. Yet, some murmurs implied that their conflict extended beyond the basketball court. The most sensational version of the rumor? Dwight may have shown interest in Vanessa, which Kobe would not tolerate. While there's no concrete proof to back this up, the friction between the two players was undeniable. At one point, Kobe famously criticized Dwight, calling him soft, a remark that seemed too personal to be solely about their professional disagreements. This led some fans to speculate that there might be more to the story, especially considering Dwight's well-known history with women. Following Kobe's untimely death, Dwight was among several former Lakers who publicly shared their condolences and voiced their support for Vanessa and her family. During Dwight's second stint with the Lakers, his increased visibility around the team led some to draw their own conclusions, particularly because of his history with Kobe and their unresolved feud. Speculation began to emerge that he might have harbored an interest in Vanessa all along. Now, I'm not trying to come off as judgmental, but it's honestly surprising that no rumors involving LeBron James and a cheating scandal have ever surfaced, especially given how frequently these stories surround top-tier athletes. And I'm certain I'm not the only one who's thought about that. LeBron has been with Savannah for 23 years, maintaining his loyalty, at least as far as the public is aware. His reputation as one of the most admired figures in sports isn't just because of his on-court achievements. It's also linked to how he navigates his personal life. However, in recent times, things appear to have grown a little complicated. LeBron and Drake used to share a close friendship, even to the point where James featured in the music video for Drake's song Forever, where the rapper gave him a notable shout-out. But that friendship seems to have soured, potentially due to LeBron seemingly siding with Kendrick Lamar during the Kendrick versus Drake rivalry. The latest buzz has pulled LeBron James into the spotlight after DJ Academics, a well-known internet figure, alleged that LeBron and Drake frequently participated in what's called two-mans, slang referring to double dates, but with a suggestive undertone of hookups. During a live stream, Academics openly accused LeBron of being unfaithful to his wife, Savannah, claiming that Drake played a role in orchestrating these alleged encounters. He even speculated that Drake might continue to subtly allude to the situation in the future. One of the women rumored to have been involved with LeBron is none other than Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant. Following Kobe's passing, LeBron James publicly demonstrated immense support for Vanessa and her family. Through heartfelt messages, he praised her resilience and extended his sympathies, which some interpreted as a sign of a closer connection between the two. While LeBron's gestures of support raised some eyebrows, another NBA player's recurring presence in Vanessa's life fueled even more speculation. Pau Gasol. Rumors about Vanessa and Pau possibly dating began to swirl due to their apparent closeness, particularly after Kobe's untimely death. Gasol, as one of Kobe's dearest friends and longtime teammates on the Lakers, reportedly became a significant source of comfort and emotional support for Vanessa and her children during their time of grief. His commitment to the Bryant family shone brightly through shared family vacations, festive celebrations, and touching social media posts where he affectionately referred to Kobe's daughters as his nieces. Gasol's consistent support and close bond with Vanessa led some to misconstrue his actions, mistaking his loyalty and genuine care for romantic interest. This wasn't the first time such rumors surrounded him. In 2011, Gasol experienced a highly publicized breakup with his former fiancée, Sylvia Lopez Castro. Coincidentally, during the same period, Kobe and Vanessa went through a brief separation, prompting baseless locker room chatter that Vanessa might have been involved in Gasol's split. These unfounded claims further fueled speculation of a potential connection between the two. At the very least, Gasol's actions appeared far more noble compared to those of the next individual, Derek Fisher. With Fisher, the situation plays out quite differently. Known for his charm, eloquence, and strong connection with Kobe as a teammate during the Lakers' golden years, Fisher naturally became part of the Bryant family social circle. He was acquainted with Vanessa, and reports suggest their relationship was cordial. Nothing out of the ordinary there, right? But fast forward to the devastating loss of Kobe in 2020, and that's when the quiet murmurs began to grow louder. Like Pau Gasol, Fisher was one of the NBA personalities who remained closely connected to Vanessa and her children, extending his support during an unthinkable period. He attended family gatherings, and soon after, social media started piecing together connections that may not have even been real. This is where things take an intriguing turn. Fisher himself was no stranger to controversial headlines. His 2015 divorce from his wife, Candace, became a public spectacle, filled with accusations and drama. Shortly after, he began dating Gloria Govin, the former wife of NBA player Matt Barnes. This relationship snowballed into its own ordeal when Barnes reportedly drove 95 miles to confront him. Suffice to say, Fisher's romantic life had already made people raise their eyebrows. So when Vanessa appeared visibly at ease or shared smiles with Fisher during public outings, some were quick to jump to conclusions. Could there be more than just friendship here? Is Fisher making a move on Kobe's widow? The situation wasn't helped by the fact that Fisher appeared to constantly be by Vanessa's side, offering steadfast support, and for online speculators, that's often all the fuel they need. Moving on to the next player, the gossip takes a different twist. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce has never held back when it came to voicing his opinions, particularly about Kobe. Their Celtics-Lakers rivalry was the stuff of legend. Pierce embraced the role of the villain, proudly adopting the nickname The Truth, and he seemed to thrive on every opportunity to outshine Kobe during their matchups. Yet, despite all the taunts and bravado, Pierce eventually confessed to holding a deep respect for Kobe, especially in their years after basketball. Now, fast forward to Pierce's retired life, where his off-court escapades have drawn more attention than any commentary he's made about the game. He's certainly no stranger to controversy, with one of the most notable incidents being the infamous Instagram Live from 2021. In that video, he was shown surrounded by women, smoking, and playing poker, which ultimately led to ESPN swiftly severing ties with him. The fallout from the event dealt a serious blow to his reputation, casting him as someone still clinging to a wild, party-heavy lifestyle, even as many of his former teammates had long left that phase behind. But where does Vanessa fit into all of this? Following Kobe's tragic passing, Pierce publicly expressed his deep admiration for Kobe's legacy and praised Vanessa's incredible strength in keeping everything together. While many shared those sentiments, Pierce's unpredictable history and reputation for stirring up drama led some to speculate whether his comments were purely platonic. Rumors surfaced, suggesting Pierce's sudden interest in Vanessa might be connected to his past rivalry with Kobe. According to this theory, Pierce still held onto that competitive spirit. And what better way to one-up his old adversary than to pursue the person Kobe valued most? Ironically, this behavior contrasts sharply with another player, Carmelo Anthony. Melo and Kobe shared an extraordinary bond that extended beyond basketball, with Kobe serving as both a mentor and a big brother figure to him throughout his career. He has often reflected on how Kobe's guidance impacted his life, shaping him not just as an athlete, but as a person. In the process of building that connection, Carmelo also formed a bond with Vanessa and the Bryant family. He has openly admired Vanessa for her poise, resilience, and compassion, particularly in the devastating aftermath of Kobe's death. However, things get complicated when it comes to Carmelo's personal life. His marriage to Lala Anthony, which appeared flawless to outsiders, ultimately crumbled, and not without public attention. Their relationship had been strained for years, largely due to persistent rumors of Carmelo's unfaithfulness, which eventually became impossible to overlook. They officially ended their marriage in 2021, with Lala citing irreconcilable differences. Yet, speculation swirled about whether those differences involved a name, Vanessa Bryant. There's no concrete evidence suggesting a romantic link between Carmelo and Vanessa, but the timing raised enough eyebrows to spark conversation. Melo had recently finalized his divorce, while Vanessa was adjusting to life without Kobe. They already shared a well-documented friendly bond, and Melo's history of being unfaithful in his marriage made it easy for online chatter to speculate that he might have pursued a closer relationship with Vanessa. After all, Melo has always been known to have a soft spot for strong, beautiful women. Some even theorized that his appreciation for Vanessa went beyond mere admiration. They cited his positive comments about her in interviews and his steady support for her and the Bryant family as evidence. Additionally, the fact that Vanessa and Lala, who used to appear together at various events, haven't been seen interacting publicly since the divorce only added more fuel to the gossip mill. Now, let's move on to Matt Barnes. Controversy has never been unfamiliar territory for Barnes. Known for his intense personality both on and off the court, his personal life has also seen its share of drama. His involvement with Anansa Sims initially seemed stable. They even welcomed his son together. The situation took a dramatic twist when she went public with allegations that he had been unfaithful to her 8 times in just the month of January. Definitely not the kind of milestone you want in a relationship. Now, jump ahead to the heart-wrenching aftermath of Kobe's untimely passing. Matt, who was once a Laker himself, shared a deep bond with Kobe and frequently spoke warmly of him and the Bryant family. Naturally, this close connection earned him a spot at Kobe's memorial. No shock there. But what did catch people's attention? Reports suggest that Anansa didn't receive an invitation for Vanessa. To provide some context, Vanessa was meticulous about crafting the guest list, prioritizing not just acquaintances, but those who held true significance to the Bryant family. When Matt secured an invite, but Anansa didn't, it didn't take long for people to start analyzing the situation. Some theorized that this decision wasn't solely about trimming down the guest list. It might have been a calculated move to exclude Anansa. Online speculations quickly emerged, suggesting that Vanessa might have felt more than just platonic affection for Matt. After all, he had the charm, offered emotional support, and happened to be either single or close to it, considering his turbulent relationship with Anansa. With Vanessa grieving Kobe's passing, there was chatter about whether Matt had become her source of comfort. Perhaps, during that vulnerable time, boundaries became less defined. Meanwhile, another NBA star found himself in the spotlight again after his marriage hit the rocks, Allen Iverson. Known to fans as the Answer, Iverson wasn't just celebrated for his legendary performances on the court. His high-octane lifestyle off, it also made waves. His relationship with Tawana Iverson, his high school sweetheart, was anything but smooth, filled with breakups, reconciliations, and, to be honest, some rather troubling accusations. Tawana eventually decided to file for divorce, and during the legal battle, she took things to another level by demanding a comprehensive list of all the women Iverson had been involved with during their marriage. With their relationship officially over and his history of infidelity widely known, Iverson found himself back in the spotlight. But this time, not for his basketball career. Instead, whispers began circulating that he might have taken an interest in Vanessa Bryant. Now, here's the twist. Iverson wasn't just another former NBA player in this narrative. He and Kobe Bryant shared a connection that was complex yet grounded in mutual respect. Though not the closest of friends, they admired each other's fierce work ethic and mental toughness. After Kobe's tragic passing, Iverson spoke highly of him, which, paired with his well-documented appreciation for strong, beautiful women, led people to start drawing conclusions. And those conclusions? Well, Vanessa Bryant possessed the kind of traits that had seemingly caught Iverson's attention. Now that his marriage had officially ended, speculation began swirling among some gossip enthusiasts. Was Iverson looking to reshape his romantic life with Vanessa? Iverson's past behavior doesn't exactly dispel this kind of speculation, as he's been known to pursue women who might be considered out of reach. Tawana likely wasn't asking for a list just for the sake of curiosity. She probably had a strong sense of the pattern. So, the notion that Iverson might find himself drawn to Vanessa, now a widow and beloved by millions, was an easy narrative for the rumor mills to spin. Moving on to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has earned a reputation as one of the NBA's most dependable, grounded, and loyal players, both on the basketball court and in his personal life. Renowned for his deep admiration of Kobe Bryant, Lillard has frequently credited Kobe as a key influence on his mentality and career. Following Kobe's tragic passing, Lillard was among the athletes who offered heartfelt support to the Bryant family, standing out not just as a peer in the sport, but as a man of principle. And here's where the murmurs begin. Damian's frequent admiration for Kobe, paired with his kind-hearted demeanor toward Vanessa and her children, didn't go unnoticed. This led fans to wonder, was this merely respect, or could there be something deeper? Some suggested that Damian's spotless reputation and emotional depth positioned him as the kind of man Vanessa might naturally be drawn to. After all, who wouldn't appreciate someone who not only honored their late husband, but also demonstrated the same strength of character? It's clear why this narrative began to gain traction. Known for keeping his personal matters out of the spotlight, Lillard's visible gestures of compassion toward Vanessa inevitably raised eyebrows. Strange. Yet, at least Jason Tatum's situation seems to carry a slightly different tone. It's more like a reversal of the classic storyline, where the up-and-coming star is inspired by the legendary icon. Enter Jason Tatum. Tatum has always been vocal about his immense admiration for Kobe Bryant, openly referring to him as his role model. He trained with Kobe and consistently pays tribute to the late legend both on the court and in his personal life. Their emotional connection is clear, but speculation doesn't end with simple respect. Whispered rumors suggest that Tatum's ascension in the basketball world and his heartfelt nods to Kobe's legacy may have brought him closer to Vanessa in an unintended way. Some began to interpret his dedication to celebrating Kobe's memory not just as a way of honoring the legend, but as potentially building a closer bond with the Bryant family, Vanessa in particular. Tatum's undeniable charm, coupled with his charisma, youthful energy, and emotional genuineness, only fuels these theories, drawing public intrigue to his every action. For gossip enthusiasts, this combination makes him seem like a potential romantic figure in the narrative. And now, we turn to Michael Jordan. Jordan is undeniably a basketball icon, but his life off the court has been marked by controversy. Among the most notorious incidents was his rumored romantic involvement with adult film star Kylie Ireland. The relationship, which allegedly began after a chance meeting at a strip club, went beyond just fleeting gossip. It became one of several extramarital affairs that were speculated to contribute to his split from Juanita Vanoy, a divorce that resulted in a staggering $168 million settlement, the largest of its kind at the time. Now, fast forward to Kobe Bryant's public memorial. When Jordan shared an embrace with Vanessa, it wasn't merely a standard gesture of consolation. The moment had a certain tenderness, even hesitation, that led some to read further into it. Was this simply a display of compassion, or could it have suggested something deeper? Considering Jordan's past involving high-profile affairs, speculation quickly gained traction. People began to wonder if MJ, a man renowned for his relentless drive, saw in Vanessa a resilient partner who could complement his extraordinary life. It's all conjecture, of course. Yet, when someone with Jordan's reputation shares a prolonged and heartfelt hug with a widow, people inevitably start piecing together their own stories, whether those pieces truly fit or not. Moving on, let's discuss Boozer. Boozer's romantic past hasn't exactly been spotless either. While still in a marriage, he faced allegations of having an affair with Michelle Money, a star from The Bachelor, a scandal that tarnished his public image. If he could allegedly cheat on his wife with a reality TV personality, some wonder what's stopping him from growing close to Vanessa now that she's single. The storyline practically creates itself. Boozer, who shared the court with Kobe during their time as Lakers teammates, may have witnessed Vanessa's quiet resilience and understated strength up close. Now, with their circumstances drastically changed, Boozer divorced and Vanessa widowed, the idea that he might see her as more than just his former teammate's wife doesn't seem entirely implausible to those who thrive on speculation. Gilbert Arenas' name has long been synonymous with controversy, from the notorious locker room gun scandal to the tumultuous breakup drama with his former fiancée, Laura Govan. One of the most sensational rumors? Allegations that Govan may have hooked up with none other than Shaquille O'Neal while still in a relationship with Arenas. Such a public and personal betrayal doesn't just sting. It leaves lasting marks, exposing the painful vulnerability of being humiliated under a glaring spotlight. This is where the whispers about Vanessa rise. Some speculate that Arenas, having first-hand experience with the anguish of public heartbreak and scrutiny, might feel an unexpected sense of connection with Vanessa's struggles. After all, both have endured the invasive judgment of strangers dissecting their private lives. For some fans, this mutual understanding of emotional turmoil might kindle a bond, one that has the potential to grow into something much deeper. A penchant for chaos and a flair for drama perfectly encapsulate the next individual on the list, Eddie Curry. Known for his candidness and tumultuous past, marked by financial struggles, legal battles, and personal controversies, Curry has sparked speculation about his potential interest in high-profile personalities like Vanessa Bryant. Why is that? With Vanessa now a widow, she's no longer solely seen as Kobe Bryant's spouse. Instead, she represents strength and resilience. For someone like Curry, who's openly admitted to being intrigued by the private spheres of his athletic peers, such a compelling figure might be difficult to overlook. Some believe Curry's curiosity could evolve further, given his history of entanglements and taste for drama. While there's no solid evidence to link him directly to her, his reputation as someone privy to the inner workings of NBA wives' lives ignites questions about whether he's giving Vanessa a bit of extra attention. And now, on to Dennis Rodman. Few embody chaos and thrive in the spotlight as effectively as Rodman does. From his ever-shifting hairstyles to his whirlwind romances with icons like Madonna and Carmen Electra, not to mention his perplexing friendship with Kim Jong-un, Rodman has built a reputation for constantly being in the news. It's easy to see why some might associate him with Vanessa Bryant. Known for his tendency to gravitate toward influential, captivating women with an aura of elegance and enigma, Vanessa certainly fits that description. Following Kobe's passing, Vanessa became more than a grieving widow. She emerged as a prominent figure in her own right, often in the public eye and widely admired for her strength in navigating such a profound loss. For someone like Rodman, who thrives on attention and bold public displays, a connection to Vanessa could be the ultimate headline grabber. And let's face it, Rodman has never shied away from intertwining his personal life with his public persona. From crashing into WWE events and showcasing his unconventional romances to forming unexpected bonds with world leaders, Rodman is always in pursuit of his next shocking story. Vanessa, meanwhile, embodies a very different kind of public attention, one characterized by dignity and esteem. The next name on our list isn't a basketball star, but there have been whispers about his growing proximity to Vanessa in the aftermath of Kobe's passing. We believe he's earned his place on this list. Enter Rob Pelinka. When a man and a woman are frequently seen together, particularly during emotionally charged situations, speculation tends to spiral out of control. Pelinka was often spotted providing comfort to Vanessa at memorial services, spending significant time with her family, and being the steady, supportive presence one would expect from a trusted family friend. Yet for some, that kind of support started to appear a little too intimate. Pelinka made it clear he was an anchor for Vanessa and her children, consistently showing up for them in every conceivable way. His well-groomed and polished appearance, one that gives off the impression of someone who could easily sweep a woman off her feet, only fueled the narratives. Combine that with his steadfast devotion to Kobe and Vanessa, and suddenly, people began framing him as a protector who might just cross over into a romantic role. Of course, the actual truth is likely far less dramatic. Likely, Pelinka has his own family and has consistently emphasized that his connection with the Bryans stems from a deep sense of brotherhood and a shared commitment to honoring Kobe's memory. However, for some, his very public support of Vanessa sparked speculation, leading to theories about hidden emotions or even a potential romantic link. Ultimately, it seems far more plausible that Pelinka is simply acting as a loyal friend, ensuring Kobe's family is cared for in the way Kobe would have wished. You've made it to the end of the video. If you like this, be sure to explore more incredible content on our channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.